In 1886, in Atlanta, United States, a pharmacist invented a most famous drink in all around the world that is called Coca-Cola. And this is most famous drink in human history. And it had two active ingredients that made it genuinely extraordinary. The first was cocaine, extracted from cocoa leaves. The second was something far less known and far less regulated, in many ways more biologically interesting than cocaine. It was extract from African nut, a nut that Western African cultures has been using for the 2000 years as a sacred medicine, as a trade currency, and as a daily energy source. The nut is called Kola acuminata, and the second word in Coca-Cola comes directly from this plant. When both ingredients were removed, cocaine in 1903, the active cola extract gradually diluted out of the formula over the following decades. What remained was mostly sugar, carbonated water, and artificially flavoring. And the brand became one of the most valuable on the earth, but the medicinal disappeared completely. Today, I'm going to tell you what the nut actually does and why Western Africans have known it for 2 millennia, while most other people all around the world had never ever heard of it. My name is Mario. I'm European medical expert with 26 years experience working with the patient all around the world in classical modern medicine and of course in special nutrition and natural remedies MarioLab protocols. I studied those natural remedies medicine for almost 26 years, and today I'm going to give you everything that you need to know about this kind of Western African plant. What is Kola nut and what does it contain? Kola acuminata is tall tropical tree native to humid forests of West Africa, particularly Nigeria, Ghana, Ivory Coast, and Cameroon. And the fruit is pod-like, and inside sits several seeds, kernels, the kola nuts, roughly the size of chestnut. And those seeds are everything in the West African cultures. The kola nut is sacred. It appears at weddings, funerals, business negotiation, and spiritual ceremonies. Elders distribute it as a mark of respect and welcome. This is not superstition. It reflects 2,000 years of precise empirical observation about what this plant does in the human organism. And inside the kola are two primarily active compounds. And the first compound is going to be caffeine. And everything I tell you today's video and a couple of those very scientific studies about kola nut I will put beside the video in the description. If you want to learn a lot more about kola nut, please check below the video. Caffeine at concentration between 2 to 3.5% dry weight, higher than caffeine, but caffeine is only half of the story. The second compound is theobromine. You know theobromine from dark chocolate, but chocolate contains in trace amounts. Kola nut contains clinically relevant concentration. Theobromine is methylxanthine that works fundamentally differently from caffeine. It is slower, gentle, and longer lasting. It dilates blood vessels. It delivers what used across cultures consistently described as a smooth, sustained alertness, not the spike and the crash espresso. And the combination of caffeine and theobromine at dose concentration is biologically unique. No other commonly available plant combines both at this level. This is precisely why the original Coca-Cola formula was pharmacology distinct from any other beverages ever created, and why people found it genuinely difficult to stop drinking. And in this part of the video, I'm going to give you exactly explanation what can happen in your body if you use kola nut correctly in the safe and natural way. What does kola nut do to your body? The first effect is energy and mental clarity. The caffeine-theobromine combination activates neurotransmitters differently than caffeine alone. Onset is slower, 20 to 30 minutes, but duration extends 3 to 5 hours without the sharp crash that follows coffee. For everyone experiencing afternoon energy drops, persistent mental fog, or fatigue that sleep doesn't resolve, this is clinically meaningful difference. The second effect is metabolic activation. Kola nut has documented thermogenic properties, elevated metabolic rate moderately but consistently, and this effect compound over weeks of regular use. Third information is really important. I use when I work with my MarioLab protocols with my patient is going to be digestive disorders. We right now know if you use Kola Nut regularly, it's going to help you with acid reflux, constipation, diarrhea, a similar kind of condition. So it is really well researched, Kola Nut for digestion. And my next recommendation is going to be antioxidant protection. Kola Nut is rich in polyphenols and flavonoids that neutralize free radicals. The molecule drives acceleration, cellular aging, chronic inflammation, and degenerative disease. And in this last part of the video, I'm going to give you how you must use Kola Nut plant in the safe and natural way. How to use Kola Nut? First, it's going to be tea, 5 to 10 grams of dry ground Kola Nut in 250 milliliters of cold water. Bring it to a boil, then simmer for the 10 minutes. Strain, drink 1 cup in the morning or immediately after breakfast. The flavor is earthy and slightly bitter, and most people adjust with just few days. Effect is felt within 30 to 45 minutes. Tincture, 20 to 30 drops in the glass of water once, 2 to twice daily. More consistent dosing and more convenient for daily use. Traditional method, if you can source fresh Kola Nut as an African specialty market, chewing half of that directly provides the fastest and most completely effect. Where to find? Healthy food stores, herbal pharmacies, or online. Search for dry Kola Nut, Kola acuminata, or Kola Nut powder. Avoid heavily processed commercial extracts that have removed theobromine fraction. You lose what makes this plant unique. And this plant I exactly described in my new book, Amazing Natural Remedies Part 3. And this is plant in my book in page 61. This is my theobromine Kola Nut. In my books about nutrition and natural remedies, there are 4 of those books. You can find all information below the video, of course translated in English and 12 different languages. You can learn hundreds plants with nutrition and natural remedies properties and how to use them correctly. 4 books, everything is below. We send all of my books all around the world. If you want to learn a lot more about something that is called coffee and how to use coffee in the safe and natural way, watch my video right here. Thank you for following my viewers. See you next time. Bye bye.